At the moment of death, the human brain stays active for 6 to 12 minutes after the body dies. 12 minutes in real time could be days or years in brain activity. Have you ever gone to work, slaved away the day, only to wake up and realize that you're still in bed and the day hasn't started? Your brain can create events much quicker than in real time. So in theory, you could relive an event or your entire life in this short time frame. Also, during your last few minutes on Earth, your body releases a chemical called dimethyltryptamine, the strongest hallucinogen known to man. These last moments are yours to enjoy and make peace with your life. Maybe an image of beauty, or a time when you were completely happy. You could die at any moment. When it eventually does happen, what do you want to be thinking about?
On September 24th, 1993, I have vivid memories of eating sausage pizza and watching the world premiere of Boy Meets World. To this day, it remains one of the few shows I can always watch. A guide for living and an old friend, not many of my biggest life decisions haven't been inspired by the actions of Corey, Sean, and Topanga. I can look back at my life and recognize times where I acted as Corey or Sean or even Eric. Then I met this girl, and I was positive that she was my Topanga.
I was never really into that show. I mean, I liked it, but I was more into the Wonder Years. Boy Meets World might have been wacky and fun, but with the Wonder Years, you get so much more depth and social commentary. The episode that focused on Vietnam alone outweighed any Boy Meets World depth-wise. That was one of our first big fights. It all related back to the shows, the loss of innocence and looming responsibility. Maybe if he has into a show with more meaning, things would have ended differently.
She said I meandered through my existence, that too much of my time was based on a TGIF fantasy. She said I might as well pretend to be Uncle Jesse from Full House. I took offense to that. Comparing the emotional turmoil conveyed through Boy Meets World and the antics of John Stamos was sacrilege. She might have been right, though. After basing the majority of my life on an adolescent TV show, I was left in reruns watching my life in syndication. Season 5, Episode 24, Graduation. Topanga proposes to Corey mid-ceremony. I found this to be a grand gesture, and I would have done the same if we would have made it that far. At first, I thought it was a temporary thing, like when Corey and Topanga break up for a few episodes in Season 5.
After almost 3 years, I decided we had to break up. I might have been as Topanga Lawrence, but I realized that by no means was he my Kevin Arnold. Like Kevin and Winnie Cooper, we just grew apart. He became different. We became different people. And we just wanted different things. Only shells of the people we had grown to love. He had been talking to another girl for a little while, and it seemed he had found someone else. I guess I would have been more upset, or at least disappointed, but I had been doing the same, and it had become clear that our relationship just wouldn't last. Subconsciously, I think he knew it too. But his delusions of a Boy Meets World life kept him sheltered from our unpleasant reality.
Season 5, Episode 16. Torn between two lovers and feeling like a fool, Corey has a great conversation with a mountain girl and considers leaving Topanga. The similarities were uncanny when she told me to test my feelings and eventually left me for doing so. When I see the episode now, I can see myself in Corey more than ever, and even though I know the ending, I always hope he ends up with the mountain girl. Not because he doesn't love Topanga, but so he can save himself the subsequent heartbreak that follows. That's the one thing the Wonder Years has on Boy Meets World. As hard as he tries, Kevin and Winnie never end up together.
If I were to die today, and I got to pick my dying image, I would have to remember the way he looked at me. He still does it sometimes, even though I rarely see him anymore. And no matter how much grief I've caused him, it's still there. Whatever happens, I do still miss him in some ways. And like Kevin and Winnie, I hope we can actually be friends at some point. Even then, let's say 10 or 15 years from now, I know he'll still have that look. And I know in some respect, I'll always be his Topanga.
So for my dying moment, my last thoughts on Earth, Season 7, Episodes 22 and 23, Brave New World, Parts 1 and 2. A clip show depicting my life as it mirrored Boy Meets World. I had my own Sean, my own Mr. Feeney, and for a short point in the time, my own Topanga. As my body shuts down, I want to watch reruns, the best moments, the brilliant victories, and the crushing defeats. I want to remember my life and the girl I once knew. Through all the pain and regret, jealousy and anger, my memories of that time in my life remain untarnished. Maybe I only remember what I want, but that's been my whole life, clinging to an image that was never really there.
In the morning, on the sober dawn of Sunday, you're not sure what you have done. Who told you love was fleeting? Sometimes men can be so misleading to take what they need from you. Whatever you need to make you feel like you've been